back up. Hey, yo, hey, this is a rap. I tell y'all don't come on this court. Y'all came on the court. Gotta shut it down. Everything shut down. Go sit back down. Everybody. Y'all just messed it up. Everybody go sit back down. I told y'all don't come on this court. I told y'all do not come on this court. Hey, get back.
So, I'm pissed off right now. Some stanky booty ass bitch just walked past me and farted, and it smell like eggs. You nasty as fuck, bitch. Don't ever disrespect a queen. But don't walk past me and fart, bitch. Fuck you.
Hello, welcome. So pretty much the artist's name is called Sexy Red, and she has I guess a very popular song called Pound Town or so, which is very popular in some inner city. But the issue so much isn't the artist itself. I don't really have an issue with the artist. The problem is the principal inviting this type of artist to an event for children. That is a problem. And I'm not sure why this principal, is inviting this type of artists who's singing music that are very vulgar. There's nothing, educational about this type of music or inspirational about this type of music to an educational institution, which is a school. It's just this. And that is a problem. That principal, I don't know whether they should be fired, but at least be suspended or something. Because common sense is really not kicking in. We have these principals that are, I don't know what is wrong with them. Why would you invite this type of artist to bring to the school to sing this type of vulgar? Have you heard her music? It doesn't matter whether she's a black person. Even that, there's a lot of black artists out there that, it should be inspirational. You can show videos on YouTube or something for them. You can invite artists that are inspirational to come there and talk. They do that all the time. Why do you have to invite this type of artist? Because what? That's what the kids want? This is the problem in the inner city schools. We don't care about the kids. They care more about entertainment, in other words. What pleases them, what pleases the eyes and stuff, and that's a big problem. And you're not going to have a good ending in an educational institution if you're going to allow this type of stuff to be integrated into your schools, in other words. This type of entertainment valuation to come into your schools. That's not a good look. I mean, I can imagine we cry about racism all the time. Why white schools have better education, have more funding and stuff, and this is what we're doing? Or why suburban schools have more funding, but this is what we're doing? Even that in itself is an excuse, really. And the reason why I'm saying it's an excuse because you got kids in China right now, first of all, that are studying 6 days a week. That's beside from tutoring. You got kids in Japan that are studying 6 days a week. In Korea, 6 days a week beside from tutoring. Some of them maybe 7 days a week. And they're basically going to be your future engineers, your doctors, your meds, your biomeds, etc. Technology, AI, everything. They're studying all of that. This is what our kids are studying. And they're going to be like, well, we don't get funding. Well, even if you don't get fundings in the schools, so what? American schools, inner city schools receive far more money, millions of dollars every year that are wasted on these kids, and they don't learn nothing. You go to kids in Africa today at a second grade level, I bet you their reading and mathematics level is far exceeds a fifth grader in America. That's a fact. And these kids, I'm not saying that because there's a lot of great schools in Africa, no doubt about that. Excellent schools that will make some of the best private schools in America look like, hell. But I'm talking about the worst of schools. You have kids that are yearning to learn, and their education level, the mathematical level, far exceeds that of most of these inner city schools. So it has nothing to do with funding. It has to do with the willpower, the people, the ability to want to learn. Not everybody can be a rapper or entertainer or whatever. And even that, even as a rapper entertainer, that still does not make you successful. Because all that money in the world doesn't make you successful if you don't carry yourself with a certain type of, this certain type of moralistic In other words, something that people can aspire to be. Because how you can have all the money in the world, that don't mean nothing. Education is valuable more than anything. Because you could lose that money easily just as much as you made it. And I don't know why a principal like this would allow this type of artist to come to the school and rap about it. No, we don't have an issue with the artist, like I said, but we have an issue with the type of music that the artist is making. And you're going to bring this type of artist to the school. It could have been any other artist, the same thing. If they're going to rap about things that children should not be listening to in terms of content, calling women bees and, talking about coochie and all this other stuff, that's not the type of artist you want as an educational institution. If they would invite this type of artist to come to a park or a party or whatever outside of the school, that's fine. But not within the education institution. That makes absolutely no sense at all. That is the problem. How do we encourage these kids to want to learn by bringing these type of artists? We should, what about bringing engineers and doctors and lawyers? I'm not talking about I'm not saying they need to be doctors. I'm talking about bring your nearest janitor. Somebody that's inspirational, that can come there and speak and give these kids some type of inspiration. That's what you need. Bring mathematicians. Invite people from NASA to come there to talk about space exploration. Something to get these minds, the kids of these minds of these kids to change. Not listen to grotesque music that has served no purpose at all. What is wrong with these principals? They think that this is pleasing these kids, but most of them can't even read past 5th grade level. They hardly can even pass exams. What's happening today in some of these schools? The teachers are helping them cheat. How are we allowing these kids to be educated to go? Oh, as long as you graduate and that's it. Oh, my son and my daughter got an education diploma and that's it. They smart. Blah, that don't mean nothing. You can buy a degree, or you can earn a degree. Once you earn that degree, no one can take that away from you. That is the problem. Whoever that principal is, they need a real reevaluation check, because that is the dumbest thing any principal and any person in that position of authority should be doing. That makes absolutely no sense at all. That's why I always say common sense does not kick in, especially in the inner city. Anyway, like, subscribe, and tell me what you think. Later.